To my right, Hi-Rez Chris and Hi-Rez Scott. They are the developers responsible for the new league system. So I do want to bring up that graphic again just real quick so you guys know exactly what we are going to be talking to in specific here. We'll make it cover up me mostly because it's really them that you want to talk and hear from. So there is the new league system, and I'm going to go ahead and make this a bit bigger for you guys so you can see it to talk to it as well. If you can actually even see that. There we go. Okay.
I can see it.
So, the new league system, a fresh start. So why is it a fresh start? What's the deal here?
All right.
Besides, well, okay, we talked about this a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about why everybody starts at Bronze 5 first.
Okay.
So
let's
many
get
of you
the hard questions out of the way.
There was this spectrum of people,
right?
A whole strata of where everyone had fallen, where they had kind of achieved, and we're going to reset everybody to the same place.
That's right.
Why?
Well, the number one reason is the old system with the monthly resets and the fact that we did not have demotions for basically, and since actually the first round, let's call it, because that's what we're calling them now, we basically had people moving up potentially into brackets that they didn't belong. So that's number one. We actually had a bug that I found when we were redoing the league system that was inheriting people's normal conquest rankings and moving them into the league system, which is now fixed.
Right. So that's why you would have people getting in like their first game with like gold players.
Yes.
Because their casual elo was high enough.
Was high enough where they were coming into the league system in the wrong bracket. People thought matchmaking was broke and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, maybe they deserve to be there. You know, I didn't know, we didn't do enough research at the time to know that that was a problem. But then when we got into looking at the code and looking at some of our configuration, we saw that that was a major problem.
So there was like a little bit of a design issue, but really the big problem here is that there was a bug that was causing people to not be able to move up in some cases, and also there was issues with people being in brackets where they didn't belong with no way to get out of them. Yeah. Because as long as you played your 10 games, you would stay in gold, platinum, diamond, wherever you were.
That's right. So that was an issue.
New system.
The new system.
A fresh start.
It is a fresh start. We literally rewrote all of the league code.
Okay, so like it wasn't like let's change the old one. It was like
that's right. Let's take the code, dump it on the floor,
dance on a little bit.
Over the last 3 to 4 weeks, we've written a new system.
Okay, so I guess Scott, this would be you'd be the right one to kind of talk to this.
Okay.
I am on Monday. I'm gonna log in. And I'm gonna play League. What do? What am I gonna see? Where am I gonna be? And what's the kind of the path for me?
Okay. Well, you're gonna be starting in Bronze 5. Right.
I'm in Bronze 5 now, so I'm perfectly happy.
You're in Bronze 5, you're in Bronze.
It's the same where you go in.
That's right.
Bronze 5 is new.
Yeah.
But I'm at the haven't played Bronze level.
So one of the biggest immediate changes is that you're going to be earning, we changed the league points to called tribute.
Yeah.
And you're going to be earning tribute as you win games, and you're actually going to be losing it now as you lose games.
Okay.
That's a big change for our previous system, and it's also allows us another big change is that you can be promoted up or down at any time, not just at monthly cycles or at rounds. So that's the very first thing you're going to see. You're going to play games, you're going to be earning tribute, you're going to be advancing, you're going to get promotions, you're going to go up divisions.
Okay, so I started Bronze 5.
Much more traditional system.
Started Bronze 5 with 0 tribute points.
Yep.
Okay, so when I gain 100 tribute points, how does that work? Like, let's say I start getting tribute points and then I get to some number, and then I move up, right? Is that how it works?
That's right. When you get to 100, your next win will move you up.
And how many points do I get?
Per game?
Yeah. Is that secret sauce, or is that just like you get 9?
It's a little secret sauce, but there's kind of 3 things that go into it. There's a base value you earn. We modify that by looking at the match and whether or not the matchmaker thought you were favored to win. So what that is sometimes, especially with the population in any given hour, you might get a match that's not entirely fair.
Sure.
We now take that into account when you're earning and losing points. So that if you win a game against really good players that were actually a little bit better than you, you're going to get a little more points. If you lose a game against them, you're going to lose a little fewer points.
Okay, so depending on how different your skill level is from the opponents you're facing, now is it individual or is it kind of like the team? So if you're the weakest player on the team, but you win against a team of very strong players carried by even stronger players, do you get a bigger differential or is it team based?
It's all team based.
It's all team based.
So it's kind of the average, or I'm sure it's not a full average, weighted average of the 5 players' skill, or MMR, I guess in this case, matchmaking rank versus theirs, and then that contributes to your tribute points based on the differences between your skill
That's
levels.
right. And
Okay.
there's a second element, which is, behind the scenes you have a matchmaker rating, which is judging who you should play against in the matches.
Right.
So you won't always play against people in your division or tier if
Okay.
you happen to be a lot better than that.
So I could be a Bronze 5 player that's playing against Bronze 2 or Silver 1 players, potentially.
Not
Silver
that
5.
way. It'd really be the other way around. It might be you're still advancing up, and
Okay.
you happen to be a good player. You happen to be a pawn upon someone really skilled. Your ELO is actually going to be much higher. It's going to be more of an ELO, maybe around like Platinum or Diamond.
Oh, we're saying in the first kind of day when everyone's
That's right.
Bronze 5.
That's right.
Okay.
The first day when everyone's Bronze 5, basically people that have higher ELOs, that their ELO starts to grow, really well, gets placed really high, they're going to get bonuses to advancement.
Sure.
Until they reach a close point to where they are. The system's designed such that 2% of the players are in the Masters tier, and then that kind of rolls down from there.
So how do I move up from like rank or Division 5 to Division 4 within a tier?
So one of the nice things that we put into the new system, and why it won't be so painful for people starting in Bronze 5, is, number one, every time you win a match, we say, well, where are you really supposed to be? Your matchmaking rating says you're supposed to be in Platinum. We don't want you to be in Bronze 5.
No.
So we're going to give you a lot of points.
The Bronze 5 doesn't want you to be in Bronze 5.
Bronze 5 does not like you.
No.
It hates you.
Yeah.
It wants you to get out of it.
I don't like playing with lasses.
That's right. So it says, please, please get him out of this division.
Please.
So it's going to give you max points. It's going to say, hey,
Okay.
I'm going to give you the max bonus for your league points at this time for this win because I know you're supposed to be way up here.
So it keeps on going,
So-
I'm going to put you against the next hardest guy, you beat him. And then it goes even harder and even harder until it's just like you're just beating teams that are much higher than you.
If you keep winning, number one, your MMR rating is going to increase from where we basically reset it to. It's going to increase, and it's going to say, no, you're supposed to be in Platinum 1, no, you're supposed to be in Masters 1, or whatever it's supposed to say. So we're going to give you more points. So that's per match. But
Right.
you're still in Bronze 5, right?
Sure.
So let's say we give you 25 points. Well, that was your first game. The next game, we're going to give you another 25 points. Now you're at 50. Eventually, you're going to get to 100, right? Then we're going to say, you need to be promoted. When you get promoted, it's going to say, hold it.
Don't put him in Bronze 4.
Don't put him in Bronze 4 because he's supposed to be way up here. I'm going to just let him skip the next division. We're going to put you in Bronze 3. So very quickly, in fact, if you have a win streak, it's going to be 10, 15 matches. You might be out of the Bronze tier already.
Okay, gotcha.
So the system is designed to get people and force them towards where they're supposed to be.
And so because of that difference in the system, that's another reason why it's okay to put all the players in the Bronze 5 because they should sort out relatively quickly.
That's right.
Even though it won't be necessarily players going directly to Diamond or Master tier, they will at least go into maybe Silver or high divisions of Bronze very, very quickly early on.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's going to be bad matches, right?
Sure.
I know some people in chat have asked, and people on Twitter said, is it a league point reset? Is it also an ELO reset?
Yeah.
It's both.
It's both, right.
It has to be both because the ELO in the previous league system was not good.
Right,
because of the
reasons we said
resets,
before.
because of the things that people were being pulled, their MMR from Conquest Casual into League. There is a reason that we want to reset ELO, reset your variance in the Matchmaker, and your League points. All three have to be reset. We probably will never do this again as long as the system stays with this basic framework.
Right.
That even if we go to Season 3, this is what we're considering Season 2. Last version Season 1.
Sure.
If we go to Season 3, at best we'll do a soft reset.
Right, more of a normalization.
A normalization of the Matchmaker. But anyway, that's that.
So, from the kind of like way this works design side of things, Scott, I mean, clearly this is not an innovation, right? That we're not going like, let's change the world!
That's right.
So, like, I guess inspiration for this league system and kind of like the desired outcome from a design perspective?
Sure. I mean, this is a lot more of a traditional system. If you've played league systems in some of the popular shooters, some of the popular strategy games, even some of the popular MOBAs, there's a lot of similarities there. This has kind of become a little bit more what gamers expect out of a league system.
Sure.
I think our overall goal is that League is, for our competitive players, an accurate representation of their skill level, of their ranking. Of those top players, we want them to be laddered and sorted based on their skill.
Sure. So a season, it says here, will last roughly a year. as you mentioned. I mean, it's kind of in sync with the esports kind of big blowout schedule.
That's right.
Probably some design stuff or balancing stuff that goes into it as well. Large changes. You know, it's kind of a little bit more of a stable, I guess, schedule of events as we move forward. Mm-hmm. Now, every round earns you rewards and your tribute points are reset. So let's talk about that. So within this year-long schedule of a season, we have this idea of rounds. And a round is a 2-month period in which your league points are reset. So if I have 85 league points, I'm grinding through Bronze 3, and then it's 2 months is up, now I'm back to 0 league points, but I'm still in Bronze 3, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. And in fact, if you, for whatever reason, leave the league system and decide that you're not going to play anymore, and you come back maybe 2 or 3 rounds later, let's say 6 months,
sure, you
start playing Smite again or whatever, we look at your highest or your last round that you've completed, and we bring you back into that tier.
Okay.
Now we bring you down in a at 0 league points, of course, but of course that's just like a reset.
Now you say you bring him into that tier. Does that mean that if I
not that tier
in that division
into that division?
Okay, so if I leave at Bronze 3,
you will come back
and I go do mission work in Africa and then come back 6 months later.
Yeah.
I am in Bronze 3 with 0 league points.
Yeah. Where the old system,
you would have been degraded.
You worked your way all the way up to Diamond, and then you left the league system for whatever reason, and all of a sudden you come back,
you're losing,
and it's like, what the heck? I was in Diamond, now I'm in Silver, which happened to me, by the way. I went to China, came back, I worked my way up to Gold, and now I'm back in Silver, and I'm pissed off.
Yeah, that's what you should be. So, is casual ELO affected by the reset at all? Like, is this a full ELO wipe across all game modes, or is it specifically legal?
Now, maybe we should do a soft reset on some of the other queues, and,
sure,
and that's something we need to look at, but this is only a reset in the league system.
Okay, got it. So every 2 months you'll have your league points reset, and it also says you get rewards. Now, what are the rewards that I would get for, I guess it'll be tier-based, right? If I make it to Silver, I'll get a different reward than if I was in Bronze, or is it division-based?
So let's talk about Season 1 league.
Okay, Season 1 league. So this is what you have been playing.
So everyone got to a certain point in Season 1, and now we're changing the whole system, and all their work is for naught.
Right. Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because we're mean.
That's the hell with it.
We hate them.
Yeah.
We hate players.
I do.
Right?
I know I do.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not speaking for everyone here. But.
No, seriously. So we don't have the rewards for Season 1 in this patch, but in the patch in the following week, we are going to look at where everyone, what their max completed season was.
Okay.
Wherever they ended up, and we're going to give basically a player icon that represents that highest tier.
So not necessarily where you currently are, but
not where you currently are.
The highest you got.
Where you got. So even if you stop playing League, you got yourself all the way up to Diamond, but then you slip back to Silver, you're going to get the Diamond player icon. So that's number 1. That's for Season 1. For Season 2, every time we do a round, we will hand out where you basically a player icon for that current division.
And a badge.
And a badge.
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights,
and all
very
of that.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that you're playing with good players of equal skill and all of that stuff. That's just a bonus, right?
Sure. That's the feel goods.
And then maybe at the end of Season 2, we have like a special skin or something. We haven't really decided what we're going to do there, but we're definitely going to have more of these round-based rewards, and then we're going to have like an overall seasonal reward.
Okay.
That whatever tier you got to, maybe we have some sort of special reward.
So then maybe starting like in 2015, after the World Championship, when we go into Season 3, generally speaking, that would be the timeline.
That's right.
You would potentially get a skin or a larger reward for the league end based on you getting to Platinum.
Yes.
Or not.
That is our current plan.
And then every 2 months you get a sticker.
That's right. Basically, that's how it is.
Gold star.
So
great job.
A gold star for being great.
Okay. Is that pretty much? Are we prepared to open up to Q&A, or is there anything else you want to say?
No. There's one more thing.
Okay.
So we didn't cover all the bad news, right? We only covered one of the bad news.
Okay.
Well, it's not really. It's
opportunity for improvement.
It's opportunity for improvement. So, looking at our statistical data for the last season in League.
Yeah.
Conquest did extremely well. We had a very large part
Tons of Conquest games.
Tons of League Conquest games. we had actually a very, very good participation in Joust 1v1.
That's the only way you can play Joust.
Surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good. Like, I didn't think that people would like it as much. There's actually a very strong...
Yeah, I heard Dan loves it.
Well, and besides the fact that the matchmaker loves one-on-one fights,
right? Because
it's the most pure you can get.
It's the most pure.
Yeah.
It's
That's why StarCraft feels so good.
It's why StarCraft is so good, because you're the only one affecting your rating, not someone else,
right?
Arena, not so good.
Yeah, Arena fell off pretty hard.
Yeah, it fell. If it was good the first month or two, and then it kind of took a dive.
That's right.
So yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Arena.
So we are gonna think about what our third league is going to be.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way, right? Like Arena League, there was multiple 5, 6, 7, 8 hour periods during the day on any given day where no Arena League games were being played.
That's right.
There just wasn't enough people. So,
like literally, people would sit in the queue and not be match made.
Right. So
we don't want that.
We don't want people to have that experience. It'd be better to just not have it available.
So that's the bad news. The good news is maybe we will have something else.
We're evaluating other queues to be eligible for ranked.
Maybe 3v3.
Sure, which seems to be very popular.
Maybe something else like that. Before, we didn't want to like stick 3v3 in.
Or Siege. Maybe Siege.
Maybe Siege.
Maybe
Siege is the next big thing. I don't know. Maybe Domination.
10v10.
That's not
10v10.
10v10 leagues.
No. So, for serious though, we're gonna look to see what we want to do with the league system. Maybe halfway through the season we'll introduce one to see how it does, and then decide if we're going to keep it for season 3.
Sure.
For the 3v3, I think we need to go and look at the map design and make sure that it is solid for competitive play. Maybe talk to the DM Brandons of the world and whoever.
If you want to, I guess.
Someone, maybe Kelly.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
Find out what will make that the best competitive situation.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so now Q&A.
All right.
So make sure can we do the format question dealy?
All right. So to ask a question, everybody, I'm gonna write this in. To ask a question, you need to write question and then your question, just like that. Okay, I'm going to turn on slow mode for a very long time.
Slow-mo.
So, let's go for your question. Well, maybe we should turn on subs first. So, subscribers, if you have questions... All right, is there any way to go down in divisions?
What?
Yes.
Demotions? Why would we do that?
Is there a way to get demoted?
Okay, let's talk about demotions.
Okay.
Okay, so demotions... Everyone, we should only promote people.
Okay, so it should only be promotions.
But there is demotion.
There's a way to get demoted.
I mean, for the really baddies,
I'm consistently going 0-15.
When I've worked my way all the way up to Diamond.
I went to Diamond. I gave my account to my 6-year-old brother.
I lost a finger.
Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So in situations like that, we do start to demote people, and the way that works. Okay, Scott wanted to answer. Go ahead, Scott.
No, give it to him.
Go.
If you're at 0 tribute points and you lose a game, you might get demoted. And the might comes in because there's a couple of different safety measures. One is if you've recently been promoted. There's sort of a window of a certain number of games you have to play before you're eligible for demotion. So if you just got promoted and you lose a game, you're already at 0, you're not going to get demoted. That would be kind of silly.
Sure.
Yeah. The other check...
Okay, so the other check is if your MMR says you are a gold player.
Sure.
And you are in gold 5 and you lose 2 games because of some freaking feeder. Right? Because that's the only reason you can lose 2 games in a row is because of feeders.
That's right. It's never your fault.
And someone was BMing you.
That's
right.
BM and feeding.
And you broke your mouse.
Right, then you continue to play with your broken mouse.
You continue to play. Actually, there's this great streamer that plays with just
one-hand guy. Yeah.
Cyber Rage.
Yeah.
Cyber Rage.
Yeah, shout out to
you
Cyber
guys
Rage.
gotta see him. That guy's incredible. Anyway, but Cyber Rage would actually be good because
that's right. He wouldn't have this problem.
He wouldn't have this problem.
But for everyone else, you've broken your mouse and you're still using it.
So where were we? We're a gold player.
We were a gold player in gold 5, and we had lost a couple games because of feeders.
That's right.
You wouldn't get demoted.
You would not get
That's
demoted.
Okay, because it's the
the
feeder's fault.
MMR says you're a gold player. I'm not going to put you to silver because I want you in gold. You're mine.
Yeah.
Okay,
You'll
gotcha.
never get demoted out of a tier that your MMR is
Your MMR
in.
says you are in.
That's right.
Gotcha, even if you have a streak. Okay.
What else we got? What
I got a
else?
bunch of questions about teams and all this stuff. Answer's no. This is a
Uh-huh.
solo queue. You can't duo queue, triple
Right.
queue,
Let's talk about
5v5. You
teams.
can't.
Everyone wants teams.
They do.
Yes.
I want them.
I want teams because
I
I
want
want I want a team with Scott and we're going to
That's right.
own
I do
the
too.
league.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to
Right?
play with Travis.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
There you
I-
go.
Lionheart and
'Cause he's
and,
Chinese.
and yeah, Dry Bear. Why wouldn't we want a team with them and get carried
BM
up
mostly.
to? Because everyone wants to get carried.
That's right.
Because that's what we're talking about, right?
That's right. You're right. You want to carry your bag.
No, you want a team because you want to invite your pro friend
To carry you. That's right, that's
to
right.
the high leagues.
I'll
right?
queue with Zapman only.
Right. I mean, that's what I want to do. So let's talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about it.
We're going to evaluate that.
All right, there you go. So, we're not going to talk about it now,
hold
but
it.
we'll talk about it at some point.
We're
first.
looking hard at it.
Okay. So the gentleman programmer
Yeah.
that does our MMR system.
He is a gentleman.
He is a gentleman and a scholar.
He's literally both of those things.
He is both. We need to do some work on team matchmaking.
Just in general.
Okay, so in general,
Okay.
because we don't feel like where it needs to be.
Sure.
We need to do work, and when that work is done, we need to see how it fits into league.
Okay, fair enough. So
Um,
if you see changes in casual based on some matchmaking stuff for teams, it would be safe to get your hopes up that potentially that would come to league.
Yes.
That's right.
So get hype is what we're saying here.
Get hype.
The new ban system. We've gone through the new ban system. I can go through that without these guys here. You can't. Yeah.
I'm excited about the band system
It's pretty
this
cool.
weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
This
You'll see it in the
weekend,
tournament
yeah.
this weekend.
It's gonna be
Okay, so in case people didn't know, we will be at 6 bands
Yeah, that's right.
for this league when we go live on Tuesday.
Which means you need 16 gods now?
We need 16. You need 16 mastered gods to play Conquest League. For Joust, we need to evaluate what the best banning.
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
is
People,
there.
well, obviously
I
you
know
can't
there's-
have the 2 rounds. That's so silly.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a post on Reddit today that it maybe is a way to do it. This kind of idea of like you ban some gods and then you put some gods into a pool. Like you can pick out of you basically select a pool for yourself of 3 gods, right?
Right.
So it's like you ban, I ban, you ban, I ban. I pick for my pool. You pick for your pool. I pick for my pool. You pick for your pool. We both ban again, and then we each pick a third, and you can pick any out of the 3. So like something
cool.
more like that kind of system.
I like
This
that.
kind of lock.
That's neat.
Which is actually I think how Heroes of North does their 5v5 games, which is a little strange. Their lockpick thing, but that kind of idea may be something
I
that
like
we'll be
that.
looking at. Yeah.
Let's talk about
Shout
that.
out to Reddit guy for that one.
Cool.
This
All right.
is literally how development goes. By the way, like, do you see
Yeah.
that guy's thing on
Oh.
Reddit? Like,
Did
I
you read-
said that. Thing
Yeah,
yeah, that was pretty cool.
That we should do that.
okay, so we'll take
right.
a look at that.
Okay.
So the question of so individual performance versus team performance. So I'm in a game with a bunch of teammates. They're all rated gold, or I get in right. We're all gold. We're ranging from gold 5 to gold 3. I go 15, 0, and 12. We win the game in 10 minutes. Everyone else in the game has 4 kills. Do I get more MMR?
No,
Okay.
that's not how our MMR system works.
So it is purely based on your team versus their team.
We use a hybrid method of true skill and some other MMR system logic typey things. It is strictly team-based MMR.
Okay.
If you're a support player and you're great at support and your team wins every time you're supporting them, you are getting the same rating increase as your Apollo Zappo friend
Yeah.
that just went 22-1.
If you're in Silver League, Silver Tier, but your MMR is gold, can you get match versus gold players?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
The matching is always based on your MMR.
Why not?
That's right.
Why
But-
wouldn't you want that?
But you're going to earn more points until you get up to gold.
That's
And
right.
you're going to lose less points when you lose a game.
Yes, because if you're playing in a gold MMR match, then you're really a gold player, but you just happen to be silver because you just started.
You don't have enough time.
You didn't have enough time.
So the kind of this idea of, have we changed anything around the idea of these kind of match averages where a 10 plus a 3 plus a 3 plus a 3 plus a 2 is equal to 6, 5, 5, 5, 4?
Is this Demon Machine's question?
Yeah, should we just skip it?
You skip it.
Yeah, we don't like you. Sorry, John.
He's
Get
got-
wrecked.
I'm jealous of his
It's not a goatee, right? It's
not
a
really
Fu
a
Manchu.
goatee. What is that? It's an entity of its own.
It's like those Egyptian
yeah.
phallic.
No, seriously.
guards.
No, let's go back to
the
Demon
Cyrus
Machine's
one
question.
Okay, here
I
it
like
is right
him.
here.
Go, let's,
So it's basically, if I'm a 100 elo player and have 2 30s and 2 20s, currently it will sometimes match us up against a bunch of level 6 players, right? This kind of idea of like, I'm really good, so I'm going to carry all these bad players versus a team of very mediocre players.
what?
Right? Like this is something that people talk about a lot on the forums and on Reddit. Like, oh, so like Wolfie will get into a game with 2,000 elo, everyone else on the team will have 350, and they'll go up against a bunch of 1,000 elo players.
Okay, so let's just talk about how the MMR system. We're going to talk about a little bit of detail now.
Okay?
The reason we have time queues,
Yes.
which some people love them, some people hate them. Once we removed them,
I hated it once they were gone.
when they were gone, people raged because that's when I go and get my coffee.
Exactly. I was so like...
It was like
I was so conditioned.
Okay, so anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, by the way, we might talk about removing time queues for leagues, but until then, let's talk. We're going to keep them for this at least next week.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing so everyone says the timer's up, everyone's in the queue. We got a bunch of like 200 rated people, we got some 4,000 rated people, and everyone in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing we do in League, because this is a little bit different in Conquest, let's talk about competitive League queues. We sort.
We just go, show me A through Z.
Wolfie's at the top,
Yeah.
and then we got some other people.
Well, Zapman's at the top.
Well, whoever.
It ain't Wolfie.
Right.
Let's just
Whoever is in the 8-minute queue, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We got high elo to low elo.
Right, so it's just fully just sorted, max to min.
What some MMR systems do is they run iterative tests, right?
Okay.
They say, what is my best match with this group of people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it says, I'm going to take this 200 level person and stick it with the 4,000 level person, and the score is going to average out to 3,120. And I'm going to take this other team of like 3,120s, and they're all average at 301, and then sticks them together, and that's going to be a great match.
Sure.
But that's not really a great match, right? Because you have to carry, the 4,000's got to carry this 200 that feeds all game. That's not how the League matchmaker works. The first thing we do is we sort by elo, and we take a slice of the top,
Right.
and then run iterative tests to see what is the best match
Of the top
of
guys.
the top guys.
Gotcha.
And then we take a slice of the next part, and we take a slice of the next part, and we take a slice of the next part. If Wolfie got teamed with some 1,000 rating person,
Mm-hmm.
it's because at that very time, when the match launched, that was the top. Now, we could have just said, Wolfie, you don't get that match. You're going to have to wait another 8 minutes. That's one option.
Right.
We
right.
can do that.
Couldn't make you.
That's moving more towards the non-time queue matchmaker, which we may talk about. That may be the way we go with League. But the way it works now is we take the 8-minute sample of all the people in the queue, and we sort. Go. Next question.
Got it. Do your tribute points drop if you lose games?
Yes.
Okay.
What does MMR stand for? Oh, we better...
Whoa,
Match-
whoa, whoa,
Ma-
whoa,
Whoa! Hold
Oh.
the...
Matchmaking
train.
rating.
Matchmaking rating.
Okay, we assumed certain...
No, what does ELO stand for?
Sometimes we say ELO at the same
Some
time.
people
but
say ELO,
it's-
some people say MMR.
It's technically not exactly interchangeable, the two. It's
That's
just
right.
common to use them. But
Yeah, sometimes we say ELO, but we really say
We're talking
rating.
about MMR or even TSR, right? True skill rating.
Oh, of course, we ripped off StarCraft 2, of course.
Yes, yeah. StarCraft
Yeah, because
2.
they have a that's theirs.
Any compensation or any kind of consideration for DCs in the rank system, right? Like if I lose because of DC, does that become less of a loss? Obviously, that's gameable. So
it doesn't right
probably
now.
not. Okay.
And it is a little bit gameable.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe's the answer.
We'll
Not
think
right
about
away,
it.
but
Maybe.
we consider it.
We've thought about it, and we're still thinking about it. Yeah.
If you get demoted, will you have high tribute points, or do they get set to 0 when you get demoted?
Oh, that's a great question.
You have points. You have points.
That's a
70.
good question. You actually get reset to 70.
Okay, so if
Yeah,
I have
you have
0,
to.
I'm in silver 1 or
Yeah.
silver 5.
Yeah.
I lose 6 games in a row. I have 0 league points. It goes, all right, you're going back down to bronze 1, buddy. I go to bronze 1, but I have 70 league points at that point.
That's right.
Because my MMR is tanked so far down that now I'm a bronze player again.
That's right.
Okay, very good. Great question. Well done.
That's a good question.
Yeah, lever stuff more and more.
That F swag.
I know. He's just so incorrigible. Still can't get that name changed from Twitch. GG.
No.
F
swag. Why doesn't he just create a new one?
We should say this though. If you dodge the lobby, right? If you back out, that counts as a loss.
Okay, so yeah, so dodging does count straight up as a loss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't.
It's not a good strat.
You can't just.
It's not gonna
it's not a good strat to dodge.
Is there any way to know your MMR at any given time?
No, we hide it.
There you are. No, we hide it is the answer to that question.
At one point we had it on the website. I don't know that we do.
We should remove that.
Yeah.
We should go ask them. Hey, thanks for reminding us.
So you might have had it had you not had that question.
Yeah, good question.
No, it doesn't look like it'll be shown anywhere in game. Everyone's MMR is going to be 0. Well, it's going to be
F-swag.
Medium, right? Not 0. It'll be some average, like 1,000 out of a range of 0 to 2,000 or whatever, right? You'll
What
be
are
in the
you
middle.
talking about?
They're asking what your MMR is going to be, right? It's going to be a whatever. It's going to be some base value. It's not a 0.
Well,
because it can go down.
Interesting enough, in our system,
I guess it would because you're bronze 5.
we use a different scaling than people are used to. So we multiply our rating by 25. And that's what
right. That's what you actually see.
That's what we actually see.
Yeah.
So
I'm used to capping at 160 in the stats.
Right. So our average ELO or MMR in the default is 60. So 60 times 25. Oh, math. It's hard this time of the day.
So why would one hide MMR?
Why?
Yeah. Why? That's just the way we do it, guys.
Yeah. What? I mean,
wait,
no, there's a good reason.
No, you don't want the people looking up everyone's MMR in the lobby.
It's just like
you're the scrub.
Well, no, I mean, tribute points and your division really loosely corresponds with rating.
Sure.
We just don't want people getting obsessed about it's just an unuser friendly thing.
Right. So I mean, it's this kind of mathy value about you.
It's
when really it's the same thing as anything else in the game, right? It's wrapped with this presentation layer that's your platinum 2.
And here's another thing about our system. You have an MMR rating. Let's say it's 60. You also have this thing called variance. And variance is very hard to describe to someone. But what variance says is the lower your variance, the more sure our matchmaker is about your current rating.
Right.
So in our current system is you start at 60, you have a 20 variance. That means the matchmaker doesn't know what the hell. It says 60 because that's the default.
Right.
But it doesn't know what you really
knows nothing about you.
If you were 60 with a variance of 5, and variance tells how much your MMR is going to swing every time you win or lose.
5 is a high variance or a low?
No, it's low variance.
Okay.
If you have low variance, it means that the matchmaker is almost 100% sure of where you are supposed to be.
Gotcha. Okay, so
it's just user friendly. It's like divisions. That tells you if someone is in Masters 1,
they're good at the game.
They are in the top 2% of all Smite players.
That's right.
Masters. So Masters is non-division.
That's right.
Well, right.
There's no divisions in Masters.
So you are so Masters is the top 2% of players.
Actually, that's a good thing to talk about. Once you get to Masters, there's no 100 cap anymore.
That's right.
You start actually accumulating over 100 points in Masters 1.
Gonna cash those in for Bitcoin or something?
Yeah, it's Bitcoin. Yeah, in fact, 1,000.
Every 1,000 tribute points?
Every 1,000 you get 1 Bitcoin.
That's pretty good.
You're ranked. In Masters, you're ranked based on your tribute points.
Right, so you actually see the lists of Masters players based on tribute points.
There's a top 100 players that will have the most tribute points in Masters.
So then it really does become to the grind kind of who plays the most, who's really winning the most games sort of thing. Mm-hmm. As you accumulate more tribute points, right? It's just you need to make more wins versus
you have to make
higher
more wins,
people up.
Otherwise, you're gonna lose points.
More and more wins. So similar to kind of any ranked system, to be the #1 guy on the ladder, you basically have to play 18 hours a day.
What else we got?
Is it possible to skip a tier?
Didn't we? Oh, a tier, a whole tier?
Yeah, to be you're in bronze 5 and you're just win every game and it's just go to silver.
We may.
Maybe.
Yeah. We've not in Tuesday's launch. You can only skip divisions. Go ahead.
One of the things is we don't want to move someone up a tier if we're not really confident at what their MMR is. right? Because we don't want to move people up too far and make them have to get demotions that was really our mistake for advancing them too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if my team loses every game for me and it's never my fault?
It never is.
That's right.
Number one.
So then what?
No, every time I lose that Smite, I blame everyone else, of course.
I generally blame Carrie.
Yeah,
That's
true.
It's usually QA's fault.
It's usually
It is
QA broke
fault.
the bill.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, what was the question?
It was just like
All right,
that was literally the
just
question.
move on.
A lot of repeat questions about getting demoted. No, you can't leave your rank through non-play. Only through poor play can you go down.
Your MMR degrades if you haven't played in a while.
Oh yeah,
That's a
we
big
haven't
thing.
talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
okay,
That's
so
new, and it's really important for matchmaking.
that's right. So your league standing does not degrade.
No, hold it. Let's
right.
stop. Let's back up. Back it up.
Okay.
Okay, so after 30 days,
So I play. I get to gold 1. I go to Africa for 6 months for mission work. I
Yes.
come back.
Yeah.
I'm still in gold 1.
well,
Yes.
the season's over by then. If it's 6
I go
months.
for 2 months, 3 months.
Let's just say 1 month.
18 weeks.
Let's say 18.
Whatever.
Okay.
What are you doing over there that long?
Yeah. What
Mission work.
mission work?
Blood
You
diamonds.
heathen.
I'm going for blood diamonds.
Okay. All right. So after 30 days in the league system, we take 1 point, a league point away from you every day,
Okay, so you
down to 0.
you'd have to be gone for a long time.
You cannot be demoted past your current division in a round.
So if you left with 99 league points and you came back 98 weeks later, you'd have 1 league point.
Well, no. The problem is the round has already reset and you've already gone back to down to 0 in that.
Right. Okay.
So,
You're right.
But it only really affects during a round. So if you play for the first 30 days and you don't play for the second 30 days, then you will lose 30 points in your current division. It drops you down on the leaderboard. Is really all it does.
Now, why do you reset league points every 2 months? Like what is that accomplishing?
One,
Scott.
Well, obviously it's an opportunity for us to give awards.
Right.
It's also an opportunity for those who are in the Masters tier and are getting different sorts by their plays to kind of get a reset to run again for the top 100.
Okay. So now, devil's advocate question there is
Yeah.
why not just reset Masters and leave everyone else alone?
What?
Right. If the purpose of the reset is to give Masters something to achieve, right?
Mhm.
When their league points get reset
Yeah.
every couple months.
Yeah.
If I'm in Bronze 3, why do my league points need to get reset? How do I care that the Masters guys need this?
That's a fair question.
It's a fair question.
All right, there you go. Well,
We may revisit that.
thank you, Chad.
Part of it
Thank
is
you,
that
Chad.
the time you get the reward, there's sort of a sense of having like a soft reset.
Right, it's a fresh
No,
start.
no,
That's
no,
right.
no.
That's a theme
it's
to
a
this
fresh
entire
remember,
talk.
Now, just think about this though. It's 100 points.
Right.
Okay.
You can get up to 25 a game.
You can get like 20 a game if you're not in the right division.
Yeah.
You're actually going to be like you're going to get like 20 points a game. However, if you're in the right one, you'll get like 11. So we're talking about 10 games.
Right.
So the
Yeah, at the end
reset,
of the
the
day.
reset almost does. It's whatever.
Right.
It's just a whatever.
So the how do you determine if someone gets improved victory points? It's MMR based. So if your MMR says that you are a platinum level player, but you are in silver, it will start
Yeah.
giving you more and more points until you progress. That also ties into the variance thing that Chris was talking about.
Yeah.
The higher your variance, if you're trending upward, the more points you would get, right? If it's like, I'm not sure where you're supposed to be, let's bump you up some.
That's right.
A little more sure, let's bump you up more, until it gets to the point where it's like, yep, that's where you're supposed to be.
Now, when we talk about a positive, it also actually works the other way.
Okay.
If you start
It
to
does
become,
work the
if
other
you start
way.
to become really bad at Smite and your MMR drops really, really low, then
We're gonna
it's
pull
gonna
you
be
down.
harder for
You
you to
pull
advance.
down- okay, so-
You're
okay.
gonna start being pulled down. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's
So it'll look to keep you in the division and tier that you're in because, or even demote you faster
Right.
than it would.
That's why you don't need to know your MMR score, because your division is a reflection of your MMR.
that also ties into degrading MMR. Basically, if you're gone long enough now, we're going to start to degrade your MMR over time. And one of the reasons we do this is, we have a lot of players that will go do something else and then come back a couple months later, and they're not up on the current meta, right? And by not degrading their MMR, we're putting them into matches against players that they might not be competitive with anymore.
That's right.
So
Okay. So I see mostly repeat changes.
We have a lot of questions that were already answered.
Yeah, that's almost all entirely.
These are
that.
just like people that didn't look at the tweets and come in at 5
See, you
o'clock.
should follow us social media.
These non-Twitter users.
All right, you guys ready to call it here? Are you satisfied?
I mean,
The questions don't seem to be too much going on.
Let's just see. I don't want to leave anything.
Okay, that's a good one. If I get promoted to master, I am the lowest rated player in Masters. Does that mean the other lowest rated guy is now a Platinum or Diamond 1 player?
No.
So as the population grows, that 2% is a shifting average, or shifting amount.
Potentially.
Or is it not actually 2%? Is it really some funny business going on here?
Well, no. So the way we figured out where people's MMRs landed in each of the divisions is we ran math on the current league system, right?
Okay.
And we said, where would this population go if we want this sort of distribution? It's statistics, right? So we said, based on the standard deviation of the mean, we said Zapman and his cohorts are in Masters 1.
Sure.
And we took his MMR and people like him, and we said that's Masters 1.
Okay, so thanks, Zapman. You ruined it for everyone.
Yeah, he ruined it for everyone.
So a lot of questions about what was it? Come on, brain. When does the 2% get determined, right? So like, we
actually determined it from last season of league.
So those players, the top 2% of players in last season's league, are the ones that have the first bid. Like, if they rank up fast enough, they will get into Masters.
Absolutely.
Okay. So it's basically those same MMR.
Everyone
ranges.
that was in the last season, and if you made it to Diamond, means you're a good player.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Probably.
Or maybe there was a mistake.
Or you got lucky.
You got lucky and you got in the top 20 somehow, and you got promoted, and your MMR got reset to a higher than you're supposed to. But whatever. Let's assume that they got there legit.
Sure.
They will get very quickly within the next 3 months to 3 weeks to 1 day. Who knows how many games they play? They will get to the same.
So let's say I play. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I play nonstop. I literally play 24 hours a day.
Zapman.
I'm Zapman.
Or Lassus or one of those.
Right, I have 5,000 games.
Yes.
Right. And I want to go. How long potentially would it take me to go from bronze to silver or bronze to diamond 1?
From bronze 5 to...
Bronze 5, let's say bronze 5 to silver 5. If I was winning every game and I had a very, very high...
And what is actually your elo? I mean, like if
I have MMR, like I'm a top 5 player in the world.
If you're actually like a bronze 5 player,
no, I'm Zapman. I'm Zapman. I'm a top
Zapman.
5 player in the world, and I am playing all the time. How fast would I progress? It thinks I'm diamond 1.
Pretty fast. I mean, we ran some numbers on it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, we ran numbers before we had the skipping of the divisions.
Right.
I'm gonna take a guess. 80 to 100 games.
Okay, so
yeah,
it'll take you
maybe a little less.
Maybe a little less. Maybe 70.
Actually,
maybe 60.
Some of it is the percentage he's winning too. For those really, really good players we have, they actually have a pretty good win rate over 50%.
Yeah, so I'm winning 62% of my games.
They're going to advance pretty fast.
Okay.
Our kind of middle of the group players tend to average more towards 50% win rates. They're going to move at more like the pace that Chris said. Yeah.
What percent of the current player base actually plays League? Is that something that we can talk about?
It's a low percentage, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the people that play League is under 5% of the population.
And that's people that have ever played League, not like active players. It's like,
yeah,
of all the people that have ever played League, it represents about 5% of the total population.
And less than
even
that.
less than that.
That's right. Well, I mean, you have to remember, of the total population, you have to be level 30 before you play League.
Sure, and 50% of people play Arena.
That's right.
Exclusively,
that's right.
So...
Yeah,
that's right.
Now they have some of the highest replays, with the highest games per day. They play a lot. Like for individual players, they play a lot more than normal players.
The people that play League are very important to Smite because they're the ones that play all the time.
You hear that? You're very important to us.
They're very important.
We love you guys.
We love League players.
Oh, this is geo separated, right? Huh? This is like there's a NA ladder and an EU ladder, yeah, or no?
What? Well, depends on your region setting.
Right, but if I'm in NA and I'm playing in NA,
yeah,
do I have a separate rating for NA and EU?
No.
Okay, so I can queue EU.
Yeah.
And be placed against.
You could play League in EU as an NA player.
So Masters will include 2% of global.
It's global.
Okay, gotcha.
There's lots of good questions.
Is there rewards for being a high-rated or just period-rated Arena player?
What?
Like if I was Diamond Arena in Season 1.
Uh-huh.
So now Season 2, do I get Diamond rewards as if I was a Diamond Conquest player? Right? Like I'm getting trophies and stuff if I'm a Diamond Conquest player right now.
Uh-huh.
When this goes live.
Yeah.
Well, if I played Arena up to that level.
You'll get an Arena trophy.
Oh, there's an actual Arena trophy.
Oh,
yeah.
For Season 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the rewards are if you're a Joust player, you get separate. You'll get a separate
There it is.
icon for Season 1. If you were an Arena. So the good thing is the Arena players, they'll have the only flare that you can get for Arena League.
So it's actually pretty cool to be a high-ranked Arena
cool.
player.
I wish I was.
It's like those old World of Warcraft things when they had the like rankings, right? And they took it away, but you could still get your like High Warlord or Scout or whatever.
Right. It's like
So you could be the man. You could have the title of Arena Champion.
Yeah.
You guy who asked that question. Questions about Osiris.
Osiris, I'm not.
I don't know.
Osiris is pretty awesome.
He is pretty cool though.
Yeah, when I watched that victory defeat in the victory,
so good.
I was like mouth open, like. What?
I like the defeat better when he's like trying to put the.
Yeah,
his body on.
Pulls up his pants of his body.
Our animation team is.
They kill it, man.
So good.
That Johnny.
Who was it?
A lot of those are Johnny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Agent John 1.
So good.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Why you go so fast? Slow 120. A bunch of questions about DCing and all that we kind of went over. Yeah, it's not role-based, guys. It's not individual performance-based. It's purely team-based. Are the queue timers staying the same?
Oh, I was considering lowering it.
Yeah, I mean, probably for at least the initial burst of people that are going to come in.
I don't know. What's Chad say? How long should the queues be?
How long should the queues be, Chad? Also, is there any?
Give me the field.
Is there any path there by which an EU player and an NA player would get matched up?
No.
Okay, so we
no,
would go,
they're hard. They're
hard locked.
When I said we sort by ELO, the first thing we do is sort by region.
Okay, sort by region, sort by ELO. Got it.
I don't know. So
will this be available in PTS? The league queue, period. Like, can I just?
That's a good question.
Obviously, you wouldn't carry over your.
So the league conquest queue will be
4 and 5 minutes.
Let's
5.
Five. 6.
5 or
it's
6.
8 right now.
4, 5, or 6.
Let's go 6.
Let's throw some darts.
6.
Okay, 6.
So the league. So in PTS this weekend, we're gonna run a 2-day season.
2-day mini season.
It means nothing, by the way. Don't expect anything to be carried over.
High fives, maybe.
High fives if you get on top of the board. But we're going to just test out the system, and you'll still have to have Mastered Gods that we copied over last week. Mm-hmm. So if you were a level 30 player, you'll be able to participate. That has a certain number of Mastered Gods, but yeah.
So yeah, the question, if I'm bronze, we match up against gold and diamond players, it is significantly less likely in this patch. Let's say 3 months down the road when people started to sort out. The problem was before, the reason that you as a bronze player was getting matched with gold, platinum, silver, whatever the players, was that your casual conquest elo is being inherited. So you would come in as the lowest possible ranked player, but then it would go, oh, well, your MMR is like that of a gold player, so you start playing against them.
That's right.
In this system, you would have to have some crazy stuff going on to ever get into that situation, right? You'd have to basically have won so many games that it was like you are a high MMR player,
or there's not enough population in the queue.
Right, or there's just not enough people.
Those are the only. That's the only way that can happen.
So there you go. It's possible, yes.
It is possible,
but less likely in this system than before.
That's
significantly less likely.
That's right. So what's going on?
League will have 6 bands, yes.
Yeah.
When you reach 100 tribute points, you instantly go up a tier, or is it like promotion matches? Next win.
Your next win goes up.
So there's no promotion matches,
or
qualifying matches, or what do they call them? In other systems,
Relegations or something.
What?
Up downs?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a best of 3 or a best of 5, right? That is how they do it.
Yeah, we decided not to do that.
Okay, so it's just if you have 100 and you win a game.
There were too many people that have been in other systems that didn't like that, so we decided to not put that in design.
One man in particular.
There was one person in particular that didn't like that.
Level cap increase? No. No, it means nothing. Level doesn't mean anything. You don't need more of them. Same global agenda. Zing. Will a Joust banning system do something about mage? I don't know what that means. Rock, paper, scissors? Mage, warrior, assassin? Oh, I see what they're saying. Assassins beat warriors, warriors beat mages, mages beat assassins. No, I mean that's just the name of the game. Is leagues only solo queue? Yes, 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 yes. I think we're good, guys.
It's looking good.
I think we're good.
All right.
I think we're good. Thank you very much for coming on.
All right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
All right,
thank you, thank you.
Travis.
Guys, say thank you to Hi-Rez Chris
See?
and Hi-Rez Scott. Follow them on Twitter. Huh? Twitter?
Yeah. Oh.